Alright, so today we are doing lesson 10-3, which is misleading graphs and statistics. So we want to identify a misleading graph. So in example 1, we have two different graphs here. They are representing the exact same data, but we have to explain how do they differ. So if you're looking at the first thing, we have our years are exactly the same. We have 06, 07, 08, 09, and 10. Our prices, though, if we look on the left-hand side of each of these graphs, they go up in different intervals. Graph A has intervals of 4, and graph B has intervals of 2. Okay, so if we were looking at this, we would be able to conclude that it looks like graph B appears that it has prices going up more rapidly. Graph B has prices going up rapidly. Okay. But we don't necessarily think that that is the case, okay? It's because our intervals are different. So in example number 2, it says the line graph shows monthly profits of a company from October to March. Which graph suggests that the business is extremely profitable? Is this a valid conclusion, and explain? So if we have the first graph, okay, we have intervals that go up by 500 for the profit, and we have all of our different months. For the second graph, okay, it looks like our profits are the same as well. They go up by 500, and our months are the same. Okay, so they both show a profit, so they both show a profit. However, in the first graph, I don't know if you noticed, it went up by 500, but then it only went up by 100. So in the first graph, the intervals are not the same. Okay, so we would select, if we're looking for that it is extremely profitable, we would probably choose graph A, so the first graph. All right, in example number 3, it says an amusement park boasts that the average height of their roller coasters is 170 feet. Explain how this might be misleading. So we have the Viper is 109, the Monster is 135, the Red Zip is 115, the Tornado is 365, and the Riptide is 126. So we're going to find our mean, median, and mode. So our mean is our average. So we're going to add up all of our numbers. We have 109 plus 135 plus 115 plus 365 plus 126, and then I divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to divide by 5. So my average is about 170. My median is my middle number, so I have to line them up from the smallest to the biggest. So I'd have 109, 115, 126, 135, and 365. So from here, I would cross off one on each end till I get to the middle. So that would be 126. And mode is the one that happens most often. And there is none. It would be all of them. So that would be none. So we can conclude that the average used by the park was the mean, because the mean was 170. This measure, though, is much greater than most of the heights listed because of the coaster that is 365 feet, which is the Tornado. So it is definitely misleading. to the customers because of the tornado. Go ahead and turn the page. So for example number 4, it says find the mean, median, and mode of the sofa prices shown in the table. Which measurement might be misleading in describing the average cost of a sofa? Explain. So for the mean, I would add up all of my numbers. So I have 1,700 plus 1,400 plus 350 plus 1,600 plus 1,400. Then I would divide by all of them, which is a total of 5, and my mean would end up being 1,290. My mode is the one that occurs most often. Well, there are 2 with 1,400, so that would be 1,400 would be our mode. And our median is our middle number. So I would line up all of the numbers and I would see that our median is also 1,400. So it's asking us which one is misleading, and it would be the mean. The mean would be misleading because the value of the mean is lower than all of the data. All right, going on to the 2 U-tries. So U-try number 1, it says the graph suggests that C.Y. Young, that was number 2. Number 1 is the graph at the right shows the survey to determine the student's favorite pets. Why is the graph misleading? Well, if we look, we would say the intervals do not break the scale into equal sections. So we have a 1, we go up 1, then we start going up 2. So the intervals are not the same. Okay, and then number 2, it talks about C.Y. Young and that he had 3 times as many wins as Jim Galvin. Is this a valid conclusion? So the conclusion is not valid because the intervals, we do have the intervals the same here, but it's saying that C.Y. Young had about 3 times as many as Jim Galvin. However, Jim Galvin did have 365 wins. So this would not be a valid conclusion.